Sun in Pisces, Moon in Sagittarius with Aries rising. So I'm actually really looking forward to interpreting this because this combination suggests that this person is the ultimate wild card. This person is likely both highly intellectual, so intelligent in like a sort of analytical way, but they're also passionately emotional as well, and emotionally intelligent or intuitive. Um, so therefore, this combination is both plagued by as well as blessed by their dynamism and their dramatically contrasting traits and abilities. So in other words, what I find is that combinations that have really different signs kind of clashing together in them, like this one, tend to have pretty difficult upbringings because it takes time to learn how to manage that kind of contrast within yourself. You know, how do you meet the needs of these different placements? It's usually going to be pretty difficult. However, later in life, that's where you get the most bang for your buck. That's where you get the kind of reward because, you know, it's generally only a matter of time before you learn kind of how to balance these things. And that's where you get a really well-rounded personality. I describe it kind of like making a soup where if you add in all these different ingredients with these dramatically different flavors, at first it's going to be very chaotic. But if you cook it long enough, it's all going to kind of melt together and potentially become something really nice, right? So that's kind of what we have here since we're clashing together water and fire, etc. Anyway, these people often have very intense life experiences, especially at an early age, which creates a certain sense of resilient optimism for them. That's another thing too. So I found that people who have more placements in signs that have to do with like late fall and winter, such as Sagittarius and Pisces, for example, I think tend to be more resilient. And I mean that in a very literal sense. Like they tend to get sick less. They tend to just kind of, I don't know, bounce back from life's hardships much more compared to, you know, someone like me born in late summer. You know, it just takes me longer to get over these types of things. Anyway, for this combination, both Mars and Jupiter are strong in these charts, and so both of these planets, their traits are kind of exemplified. Both Mars and Jupiter are fixated on ambitious expansion and optimism. So therefore, these people are kind of fixated on that as well. And the reason why I say these planets are strong is because Jupiter rules the sun and the moon here, and Mars is the chart ruler. So definitely check out where is Jupiter in this person's chart and where is Mars, because those are going to be huge placements, and it's really going to give you way more of a flavor of kind of what this person is dealing with and what they're all about. Anyway, but combining these planets' energies in this chart means that these people are stubbornly optimistic and radically experimental, which can be a lot of fun, but it can also be dramatic, drastic, dangerous, etc. On the other hand, the mutable qualities of Pisces and Sagittarius here create a certain dreamy, poetic quality to these people's natures as well. So at the same time. So in other words, these people are like brash and adventurous and outgoing and, you know, kind of, they have this crazy side to them, but they're also just dreamy and poetic and, you know, very easygoing and chill. Like that's the dynamism here. Both of these, you know, well, not just both, but like there's all these different energies kind of clashing together here. Those who encounter Pisces, Sagittarius, Aries may see them as an old soul, someone who is deep yet very relatable. In fact, Pisces, Sagittarius, Aries can be extremely charismatic and persuasive as well, kind of because of this. In other words, they just come across sort of innocent, even though they may have a very colorful kind of backstory. They may have been through a lot. They may or may not have good intentions, but it's just a vibe. They just come across trustable. This is especially true since both Sun and Moon are relatively high in the charts of these individuals as well. Both Sun and Moon are going to be pretty high. They're going to be visible in the sky when these people are born. In other words, Pisces, Sagittarius, Aries is well versed when it comes to expressing themselves, though not everyone will always understand their complex nature. With Mars as the chart ruler here, these people are they're fighting for some kind of cause, but the question is, what exactly are they fighting for, and how are they fighting for it? That's where you need to see the Mars placement to know the answers of those questions. Some of these people may lean into the qualities of Jupiter and fight for ideas and values, such as peace or politics, for example, while others may take on the energies of Mars and fight in a more literal sense, a more direct sense. Either way, this is an undoubtedly unique and passionate combination, and I would say they are just as gifted and intelligent as they are troubled as well. They have a lot on their plate in no uncertain terms. But that's my take on this combination. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any other requests. I will get to the requests that have been made so far. I'm just doing some old scripts that I had prepared already. But thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.